officially the end of 2025, guys, which means it is time for the lock-in of 2025 to really push yourself, see what you can achieve by the end of the year, and see the results that you want from it as well. Now, we are not in this space to be able to start in January. We're not going to leave and waste the next 2 months so that we're starting again in January and starting from fresh then, because we are not allowed about that life over here. Reason being is because I genuinely think those people who start in January fall into that trap of the January starters, and guess what happens in week 3? You literally fall off track completely. So we're going to set some realistic goals that we can jump in with early so that we set ourselves up in the best position possible, ready for January 2025 to see the results that we want to see. And if you're new here, my name is Cosy Morris. I am your Teacher Turned Online Fitness Coach. I am a fitness coach for teachers. I help you thrive around your teaching career and really learn to prioritise yourself. If you don't already, please subscribe to this channel and go and check out my podcast, which is the Teacher Fitness Academy podcast. But let's dive into today's episode. Today's episode is all around 5 areas that you want to focus on and 5 areas that I want you to lock in with over the next 30 days. November is literally around the corner, and I want us to be able to use November as our month to really trial run and set the tone ready for the last part of the year. December's always a little bit messy. December, you've got Christmas, New Year, all that jazz. November, we can hit it strong. We've not got anything going on. We can really prioritise ourselves. We can lock in. The evenings are drawing in, the mornings are drawing in. So what do? We ramp it up so we don't fall into that cycle of feeling lethargic, feeling bored, feeling tired out when the evenings and the nights are getting closer. We set the tone and we really put ourselves in a position of feeling good. Now, to do that, I want you to focus on 5 areas over the next 30 days. And this is perfect time if you guys who are teachers out there, because you can use the half term to really lock in, really understand what's going to be going on as soon as that after half term starts again in November, and set the tone and set your intentions ready for November so you'll start in November strong. Now, the 5 areas that I want you to really focus on for the 30 days of November are under the following categories. Number 1 is going to be your fitness. So this is physical health. Number 2 is going to be over your nutrition. So it's what's going inside your body, how you're fueling your body, and what that is working towards as well. Number 3 is going to be your mindset. So what your mindset's like, positive thinking, and make sure that we're working towards strong goals for the rest of the year. Number 4 is going to be all about your self-development. So what are you doing to push yourself at the minute? What are you doing to learn? What are you doing to put time into you outside of the classroom? Finally, number 5 is going to be all about relationships. It's so easy for these to get missed. It's so easy for these to get dampened. It's so easy for these to get hit when we're so busy in every other area of life. And I want us to really be able to focus on all 5 of these areas for the next 30 days so that we can see some changes and show up as the better versions of us. So let's dive into it and see exactly what I'm doing and exactly what you guys can do too to see the changes that you want to see. So, first of all, let's focus on fitness. So first of all, with what I'm doing with fitness, and this is something that I started at the beginning of September. So I've been doing this for nearly 2 months now, but I've seen so many changes in my body and I've seen so much progress so far. Is really locking in and setting the tone and intention with the goals that you want to achieve, but also how you're planning to do this. Set something that's realistic that you can tick off each and every week so that you know you're reaching those goals and striving towards those goals. So with your health and fitness, it might be getting so many steps in per day. It might be being able to show up in the gym 3 times a week or 4 times a week. It might be that you want to go on runs 3 or 4 times a week. Whatever that might be, I want you to lock it in and set it in for the month of November. For me, for the last 30 days, it's been around showing up in the gym 4 times per week and progressively overloading with 2 lower body days and 2 upper body days. So that's 4 gym sessions in total. I've done consistently since the start of September. No excuses that have been getting in place, and I've not made any changes at all towards that plan. This has allowed me to make so much progress between the start to the end of that term. My goal at the minute is strength and building shape, especially around my glutes. So my glute program has been really focused around that. My upper body days are around strengthening my upper body, but also toning my core muscles. That's what I've been really focusing on, and these are the changes so far that I've seen because I've really dialed in and locked in over the last 6 to 8 weeks, I would say. I'm pushing through in November too. My plan for November is to start a new gym plan. I'm still going to have 2 lower body days and 2 upper body days, still focusing on strength, especially in my glutes. That's something I really want to prioritise and push forward with, but I'm really going to make sure that I'm putting my energy and effort into tracking every single thing that I do. This has to be a priority with your fitness goals. This is how I do it using my app. Every single week that I show up doing those exercises, so the next week that I go to do them, I know exactly what I did the week before, which means I can increase the weight, increase the reps, whatever I'm doing. Whatever workouts you're doing, you need to be tracking them so that you're making progress. This is how you're going to see the results that you want to see. So whatever your goals are for the month of November, set the intentions with how many times a week you want to go to the gym, how many times a week you want to do a workout, whether that's at home or at the gym, whatever that might look like. Set the intentions with it as well. Your health and fitness always comes down to, additionally comes down to daily movement. So that means you need to set the intentions and tone with how many steps, how much movement you want to get in throughout the day. Admittedly, this has been a little bit off for me in September, and I've been very hit and miss with steps, and this is something I absolutely want to nail for the month of November, and that's something I'm setting the intention and tone with now. For the month of November, I want to be absolutely smashing my steps every single day and seeing the results of at least 10,000 steps every single day, and I'm going to be showcasing that on my story so that I can prove to you that I can do it and I'm getting those 10,000 steps in every single day no matter what is going on. That's something I really want to push for in November. So it's something that I've really let slip over the last few months, something I've noticeably let slip as well, and I know that in the winter it can quite easily draw into that too, so that's something I really want to tick off. So I'm going to be training a minimum of 4 times per week, and I want to be training a minimum of 10,000 steps per day, getting those in every single day, and that is my fitness. That's all I'm going to be setting the tone for with November. It needs to be something that's realistic, it needs to be manageable, it needs to be achievable. So these are the things that I want you to put in place, things that are achievable, and then if you go over and above, you go over and above, and that is fantastic. Number 2 area, the second area that I really want you to focus on is your nutrition. So dialing in on your nutrition. Now I want this to look something that works for you, and I want it to be a goal that works around what you want to achieve. So that could be focusing on sort of reducing the amount of fizzy drinks that you have throughout the week. It could be reducing your evening snacks. It could be reducing the amount of snacks you have throughout the day. Whatever it might be, I want you to really dial in on focus on a couple of rules that you can really focus on for November. Tick off and see and achieve those goals with your nutrition too. That's the priority. For me, building this nutrition in over the last few weeks, things that I've focused on is prioritizing, trialing and cooking new foods and trialing and cooking different recipes that I enjoy in the evening. I found in the summer I was really stuck in this routine of eating bog standard and recipes that I was just not looking forward to. I was not looking forward to my evening meals at all. For the month of September, I've really prioritised focusing on new food, fueling my body with nutrition, whole foods, and really high quality protein as well. For the month of November, I want to do exactly the same thing. So really focusing on prioritising nutrition, prioritising trialing new recipes, developing new recipes, and also I want to focus my nutrition around having that connection with food with my partner. I want to be able to enjoy a meal and have that as not just a meal to like fuel my body, which I do quite a lot at the minute, but also a meal to like sit down, enjoy, and have that conversation over and that relationship with as well. That's a real goal for me for November, is to continue to try new recipes and continue to build that love for food as well. Another real goal for me for November is going to be making sure that I am definitely sort of prioritising my protein and hitting that as regularly as possible. I don't want there to be days where I'm not being as consistent with things, which has happened in the past. I want it to be sort of really consistent, that I'm hitting my protein goal every single day regardless of what's going on, and sticking to a little bit more of a meal plan with my food as well, just to make sure that I'm getting there and I'm keeping that in place. So whatever yours are, write down some goals of what you actually want to achieve. Make sure that it's explicit and things that you can tick off. So to be nice and explicit for November, my goals are going to be to trial at least 2 new recipes per week, and my second goal is going to be to enjoy 1 meal per day with my partner sat over the table. And we don't live together, but in November we're actually going on a bit of a trip, so that is exciting. It's something we can definitely put forward in November. And finally, it's going to be making sure that I'm hitting my protein target every single day, regardless of what's going on, because I am focusing on strength at the minute. It's something I really want to build in. So next is going to be all around your mindset. So this is rule number 3, it's all about your mindset. So what are you going to do to really build in that positive mindset and work on yourself for the month of November? For me, I really want to work on my overthinking. I find that I'm such an overthinker. This has been horrendous this year, and it's something that I've really worked on and really channeled this year, and honestly I have developed so much over the course of the year. I will get something in my head and I'll overthink and I'll spiral about it, mainly caring a little bit too much about what people think of me, which is absolutely stupid, and I should not be wasting my energy on that or my time on that. That is something that I really want to take hold of in November, is this overthinking and questioning every choice that I make and every decision that I make or every conversation that I'm having, and caring a lot about what people think of me. This is something I really want to take hold of and take ownership of. So how am I going to do that? When I start catching myself myself overthinking, I'm going to give myself some rules which I focus on to stop myself kind of rolling with that and to stop myself sort of like feeding into it. So number one is going to be to let it play. The overthinking is going to play in my head. I can't stop that. I can't take control of that. I can't be like, shut it down. It's just not appropriate. But not discussing these things and not bringing these things up and having these conversations with 5 different people, it's just going to feed that overthinking. So it's about wiping it out and not thinking about it so much. Number 2 is to not be discussing these overthinking things for at least 24 hours. So if it's something that's still bothering me 24 hours later, that's when I'll then go and discuss it with whoever it is involved with. So whoever the overthinking is linked to, that's who I will go and discuss it with, rather than bringing it all with absolutely everyone else other than that person. You are better just saying it how it is and saying I am worried because, I am upset because, and then going and approaching that subject with them, having that conversation. And then this leads me nicely into rule number 3, which is going to be, once that conversation's been had, we nip it in the bud, we don't think about it, we move on. Done, dusted, wiped out, and it goes. Having that person around you or having someone around you where they know that this is going on is so important. My partner knows exactly what's going on with this. He's been so good at supporting me with this year, and every time I do anything, he really encourages me to talk about it. You need to make sure that you're transparent with whoever that person is, whoever your close circle are, whoever you find that these things crop up with the most, and you need to say to them, I'm thinking like, this is what's going on, like I am gonna, please just tell me I'm being stupid when I come up with these things, and I am trying to not overthink about things, but when I do, can you just help me shut it down a little bit? And just being nice and transparent around those areas is so useful for that, and it really, really helps. So that's what I'm going to be doing for my mindset, and something I'm really working on for the month of November is to reduce noise around overthinking. And how I'm going to do that, just to summarize, is to let it play, 24-hour rule. So I talk about it if it's still going on 24 hours later, and then once it's spoken about, we nip it in the bud and we take it out of that compartment of our brain and we put it somewhere else. I want you to really think about what you struggle with mindset. Is it negative self-talk? Is it telling yourself that you're not good enough? Is it not allowing you to show up as that best version of you because you are sort of pushing yourself down all the time? Whatever it is that you are struggling with, set some non-negotiables and some rules around what's going to go on with your mindset over the next 30 days to really put yourselves and set the intentions to stop those things happening. Number 4, it's all about self-development. We are in a space of self-development. That's why you guys are here. You're wanting to better yourself, be the better version of you. I want you to really think about what you want to put in place for the month of November for your self-development. Is it going to be that you're going to reflect a little bit more? So maybe you're going to journal every single day. Maybe your self-development is going to be listening to more podcasts, listening to more audiobooks to be able to learn a little bit more around a topic that you're interested in. Maybe your self-development is going to be more career orientated. Maybe you're going to dive back into your career a little bit more, really push yourself with that and really sort of focus on the different areas around your career that you want to work on so that you are feeling like that confident version of you. Maybe that's something that you're going to really, really focus on for the next 30 days. Whatever that might be, I want you to focus on something for the next 30 days. My next 30 days, so for the month of November, I really want to get back into the habit of reading 10 pages a day. I was so good at this time last year. I would go through books like this. I would have my books there and I would literally do 10 pages a day, and it'd mean that I could really achieve my goals. For the month of November, I want to do exactly the same thing, is really prioritise reading 10 pages a day and getting back into that routine of learning a little bit more and being a bit more proactive with my learning as well. Podcasts are another thing that I really want to build back into my routine, so that's listening to a podcast every single day as well. Again, this was something I was so good at, but something that I've let slip definitely over the last few months just with everything been going on. And I always want to be learning. Like, I learn so much to help my clients, I learn more to be able to help you guys, to be able to help myself with the business. It's so important to always be learning, and I think being able to put yourself in that position where you're actively and proactively setting the intention with certain areas and trying to put those things in place is super important. Finally, the 5th area that I want you guys to really work on is your relationships. So what can you put in place with your relationships to really put them first in and for the month of November? What can you put in place for relationships? Now, this is a bit of a weird one for me because I am actually going away for the month of November, and I'm going to be working in Spain for the month of November. So I'm going to be doing a lot of traveling and a lot of sort of exploring during this time, but I am going with my partner. So I guess the relationship side of things is going to be twofold. It's A, keeping up and in touch with people at home, and it's going to be really focusing on working on our relationship and seeing how that goes basically from the month of November. I think the priority for me for that month is going to be making sure that I'm keeping in touch with people like my grandparents, my grandma. I see her very regularly at the minute, like at least twice a week. She only lives around the corner, and that's something that I don't want to drop in the month of November. I do realise and appreciate that she is getting older and she is so important to me, so that has been a priority, building that relationship with her and keeping that in place with her since I've moved back closer, and I do not want that to slip for the month of November. So up until November, I'm going to be seeing her twice per week, and in November I want to make sure that I'm calling her up twice per week, as well as keeping in touch with like my dad and making sure I'm ringing my dad twice per week, ringing my mum, and just keep in touch with her and my sister and things like that is so important. So it's just being proactive on my phone and keeping in touch with those people that I really, really care about. And I think for me, because I'm so into my phone with the business, it's quite hard sometimes to then be on my phone all the time personally. So I think really being proactive with that and intentional with that to just keep those relationships nurtured is so important to me, because every time I kind of like spend time with my friends or family, I realise and appreciate how important they are to me, and letting that slip in any way, shape or form is so easy when we're so busy. So really taking hold of that. So for me, for the golden month of November is going to be being much more proactive and being much more active with conversations with my friends and family, just making sure I'm keeping in touch with them a little bit more and just sharing a little bit more around what's going on while I am out there, basically. They are the 5 things that I'm going to be working on for the month of November. 30 days to really lock in those 5 areas. I'm so excited to really smash these goals and really get and lock in and just do this together. I'm going to be sharing every single step on my story with you guys and showing you guys exactly what I'm going to showcase over the next 30 days in November, especially after half term. If you guys want to join in, please comment below what you're going to lock in with. I want to always hear it. Please go and subscribe to my channel and follow along on Instagram so you can see those daily tips and my weekly reels around how the lock-in is going and how it's going to shape my month of November. Love you all. I'll speak to you all soon, and yeah, catch you on the next one.